Hello everyone. Today I'm here to discuss on a biggest issue like acid rain, climate change and global warming. After studying this lecture, you shall be able to know about the acid rain and its consequences, understand how to climate change due to anthropogenic or human activities, know about the current issues of the global warming, and understand the effects of global warming on environment. Now, let us discuss first what is acid rain. Normal rainwater is always slightly acidic because carbon dioxide present in the atmosphere get dissolved in it and form carbonic acid. Normal acidity of the rainwater is 5.6. When the carbon dioxide react with water, they form carbonic acid. Because of sulfur dioxide and nitrogen gas as pollutant in the atmosphere, the pH of the range is further lowered to 2.4 and this type of precipitation is called acid rain. Acid rain is a combination of sulfuric acid, nitric acid and HCl. Precipitation that has a pH of less than that of natural rainwater, which is about 5.6 due to the dissolved carbon dioxide, is called acid rain. Acid rain spread and damage involves weather, chemistry, soil, and the life cycles of the plant and animals on the land and form acid rain in water. Now we discuss who coined the term acid rain. Since industrial revolution, emission of sulfur dioxide and nitrogen dioxide in atmosphere has increased. In 1852, Robert Agnes Smith was first to show the relationship between acid rain and atmospheric pollution in Manchester, England. Term acid rain was generated by Smith in 1972. Problem of acid rain has not only increased with population and industrial growth but has become widespread. Types of acid rain. Acid rain are of two types, wet deposition and dry deposition. Now let's see the difference between wet and dry deposition. Wet deposition refers to acid, rain, fog and snow. As the acidic water flows over and through the ground, it affects a variety of plants and animals. Whereas dry deposition refers to acidic gases and particles. About half of the acidity in the atmosphere falls back to Earth through dry deposition. Now we will discuss the formation of acid rain. Due to the vehicular exhaust and the industries, both sulfur dioxide and nitrogen dioxide are released in the atmosphere. These two pollutants, when they react with water, they form sulfuric acid and nitric acid. So this is the way formation of acid rain. Chemical processes involved in acid rain. Now, formation of sulfuric acid. When the sulfur react with oxygen, they form sulfur dioxide. The sulfur dioxide react with oxygen and water, they form sulfuric acid. Next, reaction involving the formation of nitric acid. When the nitrogen oxide react with the molecule of ozone, they form nitrogen dioxide and oxygen. When the nitrogen dioxide react with the ozone molecule, then they form nitrogen trioxide. This nitrogen trioxide react with nitrogen dioxide, they form nitrogen pentaoxide. And this nitrogen pentaoxide react with the molecule of the water, they form nitric acid. Causes of acid rain. Burning of coal, oil and natural gas in power stations make electricity given off sulfur dioxide gas. Burning petrol and oil in vehicle engines gives off nitrogen oxides as gases. These gases mix with water vapor and rainwater in the atmosphere, producing weak solution of sulfuric and nitric acids, which falls as acid rain. Natural sources such as eruptic volcanoes and lighting produce sulfur dioxide and nitrogen dioxide, which causes to the formation of acid rain. Now we discuss the effect of acid rain on the non-living, living, and on the soil. First, we discuss non-living things. The Taj Mahal in Agra, suffering from sulfur dioxide, sulfuric acid, and other fumes pollutants released from Mathura refinery. Acid rain can cause extensive damage to the buildings, statues, bridges, and structural materials of marble, limestone, etc. Now, let's see the effects on living things, on the human health. The sulfur dioxide and the nitrogen oxide gases cause respiratory diseases like asthma, chronic bronchitis, etc. Tiny particles cause difficulty in breathing for human and animals and also lead to permanent lung damage. On the water animals, acid rain increases the acidity of lakes and rivers, which directly affect the aquatic ecosystem. On the trees and the soil, acid rain dissolves all the nutrients and useful minerals for the tree to grow, weakens the process of photosynthesis. According to modern researchers, acid rain leaches potassium, calcium, magnesium, etc. essential elements from the top of soil, and when the soil is contaminated, decrease the production crops. Acids activate aluminium from the soil, which leaches into the water, and fish die. Drinking water is contaminated. Now, let us see what control measures adopted to decrease the acid rain. Clean combustion technologies. Using pollution control equipments. Replacement of coal by natural gas or renewable energy resources. Liming of lakes and soils. Formulate the policy framework for the reduction of sulfur dioxide and other acid rain causing gas emissions. Support a set of sub-projects that promote cleaner production, reduce acid rain and air pollution, and improve the environment. We use soft bituminous coal because this is the coal that have low sulfur content, and use energy resources that don't produce sulfur or nitrogen oxide. What is global warming? Gradual increase in the average temperature of the Earth's atmosphere and its ocean is called global warming. The average temperature of the Earth has risen between zero point 0.4 to zero point 0.8 degrees Celsius over the past 100 years. Global warming research have recently predicted that average global temperature could increase between 1.4 to 5.8 degrees Celsius by the year of 2100. What is greenhouse effect? The term greenhouse was given by J. Fourier in 1827. The energy of the sun is emitted as a heat radiation. Sun's rays consist of ultraviolet rays, visible light, and infrared radiation. Ozone layer present in the stratospheric region of the atmosphere absorbs UV rays and allows visible and infrared radiation to pass through it towards Earth. Some of the radiations near infrared rays penetrate the Earth's surface by easily passing through the carbon dioxide layer present in the atmosphere, and some of the heat radiation, longer wavelength heat rays, are absorbed and retained by the Earth's surface. Some of this absorbed heat is then re-radiated by the heated Earth. The temperature of the Earth's surface is determined by the energy balance between the heat energy reaching the Earth's surface and the heat energy that is re-radiated back into the space. In the last few years, fossil fuel-based industrialization and man-degenerative lifestyle based on overexploitation of resources like coal, oil and gases, which take generation of regenerate, has resulted in an unprecedented rise in the concentration of greenhouse gases. The major greenhouse gases are the water vapors, which causes 36 to 70% of the greenhouse effect on Earth, carbon dioxide, which causes 20 to 56%, methane, which causes 4 to 18%, and ozone, which causes 3 to 7%. It is not possible to state that a certain gas causes a certain percentage of the greenhouse effect because of the influence of various gases are not additive. Other greenhouse gases include but are not limited to nitrous oxide, sulfur hexafluoride, hydrofluorocarbons, perfluorocarbons, and carbonfluorocarbons. These greenhouse gases in the lower level of the atmosphere act as like a glass of greenhouse. Like glass, they are transparent to near-infrared rays, that is short wavelength heat rays, but are the opaque to the heat radiated by the heated earth, that is longer wavelength heat rays, and trap them. By not letting the solar rays to escape into the outer space, greenhouse gases added to the heat that is already present on the Earth's surface. This results in increase in temperature and is commonly known as greenhouse effect. On the global level, this effect is known as global warming. What are the causes of the global warming? Burning of the fossil fuels, for example, coal or crude oil, power plants due to the generate electricity, transportation, for example, LPG, kerosene, fuel oil, etc., industrial processes like manufacture of cement, steel, aluminium, waste management. Now we discuss climate change. Climate change is governed by the numerous interaction between closed loop system. Modification of one aspect of these systems, such as carbon dioxide, can influence the overall climate system and lead the change. Weather refers to the changes taking place in the atmosphere at a present over short period of time in the science of meteorology. Due to the science of climatology, we define climate the tendency of the weather over long period of time. Climate change leads the two factors. One, stratospheric change due to ozone depletion and desertification of the land degradation. Due to ozone layer depletion, loss of biodiversity and ecosystem functions altered. Due to this, freshwater decline. Due to desertification and land degradation, altered precipitation occurs, and due to this, decline the freshwater also, and loss of the biodiversity and ecosystem functions altered. Due to the ozone layer depletion, UV rays exposes and directly affects the human health. Due to the loss of biodiversity, decline in several ecosystem surfaces and affects the human health. Due to decline of the fresh water, decrease the water quality that affects the human health. So this is all over the chain due to the climate change. Now we discuss effects of the climate change. Direct temperature effects leads the increase in average temperature, more extreme heat waves during the summer, less extreme cold spells during the winter, and harmful to those heart problems, asthma, the elderly, and the very young and homeless peoples. Extreme events, that is, heat waves, cold waves, storms, floods, and drought. Global warming increases in the frequency of extreme events which eventually related to the deaths, injury, and stress-related disorders. Climate-sensitive diseases increases the risk of some infectious diseases like cholera, malaria, dengue fever, yellow fever, etc. Air quality, an increase in the concentration of ground level ozone decreases the air quality. Due to this, damage of lung tissue and harmful for those asthma and other chronic disease. Food supply. Increasing temperature and variable precipitation decreases the production of staple food in many of the poorest regions and increase in the risk of malnutrition. Due to this, population displacement occurs, rising sea levels, increase the risk of coastal flooding. More than half of the world lives within 60 kilometers of the sea. UV exposure results skin cancer, that is an abnormal growth of skin tissue. Premature aging, which make the skin thick, wrinkled and leathery. Eye damages that results cataract, degeneration of yellow spots, skin cancer around the eyes, etc. And suppressions if the immunity overexposure of UV radiations suppresses and weakens body immunity system. Now we discuss the measures of controlling this problem. Government laws to limit the production of pollutants. Develop skills to using renewable fuels like solar and wind energy. Discourage and replace the use of fossil fuel. Carry out energy saving schemes. Building more plants due to this reduce the pollutant carbon dioxide. Reduce, reuse and recycle culture. Plantation and forestation. Based on our presentation, there are some practice questions which are discussed. That is, define the term acid rain, global warming and climate change. Explain the chemical reactions which are responsible for acid rain. Discuss the causes and effects of acid rain. Explain the causes and effects of global warming and climate change. Discuss the phenomena of greenhouse effect and name the gases which are responsible for the greenhouse effect. These are the references. Thank you.